do another Q&A. I'm not working today. I've just walked to the studio. So I thought I'd jump on here quick and see if anybody wants a chat about techniques, about anything like that, work processes, etc. Yeah, it's an incredibly hard time for tattooists this time of year to get clients that want to pay to get tattooed. Leading up to Christmas as well, you know, there's a lot of outgoings, presents to pay for, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm in the same situation where I haven't got a booking for 3 weeks. I've had dropouts. It's probably the hardest time I've been I'm having in the 9 years I've been doing this. Like many of you know that have followed this channel, I was homeless to make it as a tattooist for 4 or 5 months. I've got a daughter to pay for. I've got this place to pay for, which I've not even been in for that long, and already it's starting to cripple me and affect if I have to leave this place and go underground. So yeah. What's going on, people? You're coming through now. I can just see it. Please smash that like button, guys. Please help me get this video out, because it's going to be a very informative one for sure. What's going on, Soup? Or tired of this hogwash? Wow, I remember you. Shane Bowles. What's going on? Brandon Bateman, Divine Tattoo Art. Thank you for that comment, bro. I'm actually thinking about coming out of this industry, to be honest, for a short period of time. I might even have to get another part-time job, bros. So that's the situation I'm in. That is the situation I'm in, which is very sad, to be honest, because I've worked incredibly hard for 9 years to get to the level I am, in order to ask for the price I want to ask for. And I know in the US it's a lot more expensive to get tattooed by someone that's pretty good. Here in the UK, everything's a lot cheaper. But I'm going down to around £400, £450, which is about $500. So it would even be cheaper to fly out to get tattooed by me than to get tattooed maybe by your local artist in the US. I have no idea. But yeah, it's probably cheaper to fly out here and fly back to the US, which is crazy, isn't it? Robert Thomas, I appreciate you, man. Dude, I remember when you first started doing your channel and tutorials. I can't thank you enough. This is from Brandon Davis, for passing your tutorials, helped me out a ton. No worries, man. I'm glad I could help. Would you consider moving temporarily to another country? Yeah, but again, it's the price of moving. I've had to sell my car. I've had to walk into work today. Having to sell things from my flat just to keep a roof over my head, dudes. It's one of them, man. It is one of them. I'm looking to go to the US next year, but I'm dropping my day rate down just to get through this challenging time. And I think a lot of artists are in the same situation, in the same boat as I am. They're having to drop their day rate down to stupidly low levels just to get people in. Yeah, it's a hard one. It's very hard not to undervalue yourself as well. Like like I said, I've worked so hard for the 9 years, bouncing between different countries, learning from different artists just to get the skill set I've got now. And obviously setting up the podcast would be a massive, has been a massive learning curve for me as well. It's dead here in Illinois too. People are charging $250 for 5 hours. Yeah, mate, Carl Black. Similar situation to England, bro. I think the whole industry hasn't recovered from COVID. I think COVID's really fucked us up. This is what I'm gonna eat today. I'm not eating today. Because I just can't afford to, really. I mean, I've been in this situation before. I was homeless, for fuck's sake. Do you know what I mean? I was having washes and shit in fucking disabled toilets. I know how to grind through tough periods. It's just having that mindset to get through it, I suppose. And this is why I wanted to jump on here again today, because it's obviously I've built this channel up from nothing, and yeah, it's nice to show the hard times as well. At the shop, we charge £100 an hour. Some artists charge 150 an hour. That was from Brandon Bateman. Yeah, man. No, I mean, Ricardo, I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be one of them. Right, let's get into some tattoo questions. Carvis Rainey says, what's your preference on needle brands and groupings? So needle brands are a massive thing. I know a lot of people will try and save money on purchasing cheaper needle brands, but it's it's like you get what you pay for in this industry. I've tried a lot of brands out. I've tried a lot of different needles, from Bishop to Quadrant to Easy cartridges to Stigma cartridges to so many, I can't even explain. And the ones that I found the best, because I'm a massive Bishop fan, I am a massive Bishop fan. I love Bishop. And what they do as a company and stuff like that. They're extremely helpful people. But the Da Vinci V1s, they were quite average for me. But again, different people tattoo differently. So, you know, what's average to me might be good for you. For me, Quadrant are the best. The new Sublime needles are incredible as well. They are so good. I would choose Quadrants. And I go for 0.30 as well. 0.30 is just the black and grey standard now, I think, to use to get that smooth shade. David Vega uses that. Thomas Carly-Harlier uses that. And those two are goats for me. Eric Massinazin as well, he uses those. There's a guy called Danny Luiz, I think, in LA. I think he used to be based in Spain, I think. I'm not sure, but he uses 0.25s, but that's a tiny, like, he only uses those bug pins for specific things that he needs to do, maybe to smooth certain shades out between tones and stuff. I'm not sure, but yeah, 0.25, they're probably a bit too fine a needle. But 0.30 is perfect for keeping that ink in the skin, especially in like darker tones and stuff like that. Do you think as art, this is from Forever, do you think an artist's work can only take them so far? Do tattooists need to be aware of marketing? Oh, mate, 100%. This is why, because I do a generic style of tattooing, I can't charge upwards of £1,000 a session. You know, the most I got to was £800 a session. And that's where design elements come in. That's where marketing comes in. That's where your style of tattooing comes in. That's the biggest thing. Your style is what, if you go viral with your style, like that Mashko guy, his style, you know, he's a good tattooist, but his style is what made him known, really. So because I do a generic style of tattooing, I don't think I could ever charge that. I'd have to really go away and work on my specific style. I've got a style of work, but I haven't got a style of tattoo, if that makes sense. Most people can tell a piece has been done by me because of, I don't know, the tones I use and stuff like that, and the way I work, the way I stencil. But when it comes to design element, it's pretty, you know, you have to be pretty spot on with what you and you have to execute that style as well in order to gain some serious things, clientele and money from that. What about 3-round liner? You prefer 0.3 or I prefer both. I'm not too fussed. 3-round liner, I've got cartridges over there I can see now that are 0.30s and 0.35s. I think I've got 0.35s at the minute. I think I've just run out of the 0.30s, but I'll only use a round liner to get to really hard places. Like say if I'm doing like a nose or something and you need to do this curve here, you obviously can't get that with a mag. You have to then go in and just brush it in with the liner just to get that really tight bend. But since the David Vega podcast, I've definitely taken away a lot of what he said to me privately as well after the podcast, and he said a lot of things to me to make my work a lot smoother. And one of the things he said to me was, and he said this in the podcast as well, but he said he does a lot of his tattoos with the 7 curve mag. Now, if you've got my Instagram, you'll see the Weekend portrait. I did a portrait of the Weekend. I really like that whole design as well. I was really into that. That's probably the route I'm going to be going down in my design work. But if you haven't looked at it, go over to Oliver Air on Instagram and look at the Weekend portrait I did. That came out really nice, and I used a 7 curve mag for everything on that. I think I used maybe a 3-round liner to get to really small parts that are quite sharp in bends and stuff, but that's it. Please smash that like button, guys. Spaded says, I've seen the difference since Vega. Yeah, I mean, I just work a bit differently now. I do work a bit differently. And like everything, what I say on this channel, everything that, you get from the podcast, you can have all the information. It's just how you want to use it. You could lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Do you know what I mean? And that's a similar situation with tattooing. You can get all the information in the world, but it's how you use it. It's if you take it. It's if your brain takes it in a way that you can improve yourself. And this is why I've made my course so easy to follow, and the masterclasses I do as well, because I've taken information, different bits of information from different artists that are well known, and I've taken all the important parts to get to where I am, and that's how I've just spent my whole career really. Francois GM says, hey, I'm an apprentice. I would like to know if you have any advice to improve faster. To be honest, just go at your own pace, dude. Brandon Bateman, yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, just smash the hell out of these videos, man. I don't really get paid from YouTube anymore. It's bad news. So if I never really used to get paid a lot anyway. It's like a couple of £100 a month, whatever, on ads, but yeah, I don't really get paid from this, so it's just giving you my time now. I like the way you approach teaching other artists. Super tired of hogwash. I haven't eaten today and I'm feeling it. I'm very hungry. John says, I feel traditional loose needles give better lines. Yeah, so I don't use, so when I'm doing like traditional, loose needles, yeah. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know, it depends. Like, I use round shaders for lining. If I was to do like a mandala or something like that, Rooney Kamsin, what's going on, bro, from Singapore? I use round shaders to line, to do them thick lines. I just get the round shader out and smash some lines in there. Yeah, that's what I use. Let me just quickly go down. Yeah, Brandon Bateman, I appreciate you smashing the videos in the studio, man. It's always good. A 5-round liner tight to what? Yeah, I have. Do you know what? I do like the 5-round liner tights. I do. I think sometimes they can be a bit sharper as well. The tight ones are obviously a bit. I feel like they last a bit longer. But because I only like, if you're using a 3-round liner to shade with, for instance, or a 5 tight liner to shade with, like stipple shade, obviously they'll become blunt faster, and especially if you hit the bottom when you're dipping into your ink, when you hit the bottom, it goes like it just blunts it. You need to change the needle. Where is the Don Brown podcast? We haven't done it yet. He's been busy. and it's yeah, I've been stressing about work and stuff, so we haven't really got time to do it. We will do it though, for sure. We will do it. I need to jump back on the podcasts, to be honest. I learn loads from them, and it's good to try and get that full-time swing, one every week or one every couple of days, which would be amazing. That's the vision I've got to with it, but it's hard, you know, tattooists haven't really got a lot of time. And then obviously interviewing people from different time zones, it's very hard. But yeah, he uses a lot of dark tones in his work, and he relies on white highlights to really jump out his work, and the opaque grey background he uses as well really pops out his work. Yeah, he's an incredibly talented guy. He's got a style to him that not a lot of people have. So it'd be interesting to see Elliot Koek, I think, tattoos a lot like him. So it'd be interesting to see what he does and ask questions about what he does. Victoria Lee as well is interested on coming on. So Victoria Lee would be an incredibly good interview to have. I've been speaking to her for a bit. I'm not sure if she knows too much English because she's based in Korea, I think. So yeah, that's another thing that I have to try and sort out and try and plan with her, because obviously she needs to answer the questions in a way where she can speak clear English. I'm guessing from what she's said to me. Please smash that like button. There's 63 people on, 48 likes. Appreciate the likes. They're definitely fun to stipple shade, and yeah, Carl Black, 100%. Can you do a review on Vlad Blad Ultra Pen 2? I mean, do you know what? I'd love to do reviews, but I've just got no money at the minute. I can't even lie, dudes. I've got no money to buy shit. If you know of any, if you can spam companies to get me to do reviews or whatever, then that'd be great. But not a lot of people want to work with this channel, to be honest. Like, not people, but companies, as in like Killer Inc. or something like that. They're not that bothered, which is crazy, really, because, you know, we've got a great audience here, and I'm always up for learning and stuff. Have you seen Extreme Inks? I haven't. That was from John. What can you say about the FKI and Flux Max? I haven't used the Flux. I don't think I've used the Flux. I've used the XR. I wasn't impressed with that. I think the battery system's way too complex and it's faulty. Yeah, I'm not really impressed with the FK irons whole. They're made extremely well though. The machines themselves are definitely up there for probably the best manufactured machines, but in how they work, I didn't really like them because they just hit stupidly hard. Bishop Wand Liner Volt. Sorry, my English terrible. Bellic Magic Tattoo. Liner Volt. Ooh, I would use maybe a 4 volt. I would anything. So basically, this is what you need to do, guys. You need to, the higher the stroke on the machine, you need to choose a lower volt. So say I'm now tattooing, okay, so I'll use the shader for example, because they're all set things. So the Bishop shader, I use it around 9 volts to 8 volts, depending on the client's skin. If it's harsh, if it's sensitive skin, I'll lower the volt. You need to lower the volt to what's going on, Jose Mercado? You need to lower the volt if it's sensitive skin. So I'll always have a range that I go to in each machine. So the shader's got a 3.5 stroke machine, and I'll go between 9 and 8 volts depending on how the client's skin is. Now, the Packer is a 4.2 stroke. I will run that at around 5 volts. I won't really go above 5.5 volts for that. I'll go between 4.5 and 5.5 with the packer, and then the liner I'll probably use around the same, but on the lower end. So I'll probably go around 4.5. And just slow your hand speed down, slow it down, which I find a struggle, to be fair. Shane Ball says, I'm very lucky that I've got, I appreciate it, man, thank you. I'm not a fan of Dragonhawk. I don't like Chinese stuff, and I'm not being racist, it's just cheap and nasty. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I've tried a lot of machines. There was one machine that I loved. I can't remember who it was by. I think it was CNC. It was the CNC Wii tattoo machine. That was really good on fake skin because it hits super soft, really soft. So because obviously you're tattooing on a hard surface and fake skin, you know, you haven't got flesh to bounce to keep the, you know, to bounce. You haven't got a soft surface basically. It was really nice to work on a hard surface, but on the skin it's dreadful. It hits way too soft. Why do you wear your jacket inside? Mate, I've literally just come in. I've just come in. I walked 2.5-3 miles to get here because I can't afford to drive my car. So I'm a bit cold and a bit wet. That's why I'm wearing my jacket still. And I'll be walking 2.5-3 miles back. Chris Sajdik. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name wrong, bruv. But love from UK to Canada. Canada, love it. Never been, but I'd love to go. Have you tried the 4.1 stroke from Acus? Yeah, I use Acus nearly every day, to be honest. Acus are amazing. It's probably the best machine I've ever used in terms of how versatile it is. You can use it with everything, and the motor in it is fucking so nice. I need to switch it up though. I've been using the 4.1. I think it's a 4.1 stroke. It's the top stroke you can get in the Acus. And I've just lowered the volts, the hertz down to like 66 hertz or something like that, whatever volt that is. But it's pretty low, I think. But I might use it at a faster pace and change the cam inside to maybe a 3.7 or something like that. I think it goes up in I think it's a 4.1, 3.7 and a 3.2, I think. How can I hear your beats? My beats. Yeah, I make music as well, guys. If you want to hear, I'm on Spotify now. I've released a Spotify track under Vampire. Obviously, I got the teeth. I thought, fuck it, it's a cool name. Vampire, but the end of the word is my last name, so Vampayre. If you go over to my Instagram, hit me up on Instagram. I share a lot of music on there. The top of the Acus is a 4.5. Yeah, well, that's what I use. It's not 4.1, it's 4.5. Yeah, that's what I use, 4.5. And then it goes down into 3.7, I think, and then 3.2. But there's a new one, 4.1. Oh, I didn't know. I haven't seen anything by them, to be honest. Yeah, Kyle, yeah, do it, man. Yeah, man. Vampire, it's Vampayre. You have a new follower. There we go. I think you've just come up on my SoundCloud. Sick. I've just seen the notification. If you ever get a chance to travel to the US, yeah, man, I will. KJ Meader, I will. I'm definitely going to go and visit David in Texas, maybe do a collab piece together. That'd be super fucking cool. He was on about that when we did the podcast together. I think what I'll have to do, guys, is I think I will have to come over to the US and Canada and just work privately, and then drop into studios around, just try and get out there, man. I think that's the next. I think it's the universe telling me something. You know, I think it's the universe telling me that I need to switch it up. It's been nearly 10 years I've been doing this here now in the UK, and no, it's just it's such a shit place to tattoo. It's very crap. The UK to tattoo is the tattoo industry in the UK is awful. It is awful. It's gotten worse as well. It's just awful, dude. Like, everyone's dropping out. You know, the whole tattoo scene here for people as a whole, it's not a good one. You know, there's some tattoo collectors here, but you know, there's a yeah, it's not a great scene here, which is why, especially since COVID, it's dire. It's very bad. COVID's fucked the whole industry here, to be honest. Brandon Davies, I appreciate that. That super chat, dude. I really do. It'll buy me a meal. Canada homie, Ontario. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm coming, bro. I'm gonna come. Stefan Dimitri. Yes, I think that is how you. But yeah, no, the UK is not. Convention tour's already started. Look around Florida, Georgia, South Carolina for starts. Virginia, New York just finished up their rounds. It's south to Midwest to Western. Oh, is it? I didn't know they do tours around. I did not know that. I need to. Lauren Allen says, "Where'd you get the sign?" I got it from my friend. She owns a neon company in Turkey. So yeah, I think it's called Custom Neon signs. Please smash that like button, guys. Oliver Forever. Joe Galvin. That's a cool DJ name, actually. Oliver Forever. That's actually sick. Maybe I should change my name to that. Yeah, it seems to go based on seasonal weather. Yeah, man. That's really interesting. Is it your style that's not a lot in demand? Yes, I think black and grey tattooing is dying in this country, to be honest. Colour's dead in this country. No one wants colour in this country. No one. But black and grey tattooing is dead. It's dying quick. Especially like traditional kind of tattoos, like traditional style, like conventional style, like lions and roses and stuff like that, which is what I do a lot of. That was like my bread and butter, doing like animal portraits and stuff. That was like, you know, people's dogs and stuff. I got really good at doing animals, getting the texture in. Then I went down like the portrait kind of route. I was doing portrait based stuff, women's faces and stuff like that. I think design work is definitely a massive thing to do with how booked up you are. I think I've just got too of a generic style to get booked out as much as I am, unless I'm dropping my rate, which is what I've had to do. I've had to drop it to an all-time low. I'm now $450, so that's my rate now, which is mad. That's pretty much what I was on probably a year into tattooing, 2 years into tattooing. I was on that rate. But sometimes you just got to do what you got to do, man. I'm an all-round artist, and it seems black and grey is where it's at these days. Yeah, I mean, black and grey is good, but like 450 for a day, yeah, that's what I am. Not an hour. Extremely cheap. But yeah, I think fine line kind of stuff now is where it's at in terms of money in this country, which is incredible because it's quite easy to pick up. You have to have a very steady hand though. Cover-ups are a bad idea. I think having a cover-up, like covering something up anyway, isn't a good idea unless you do colour work. Colour work will cover black and grey stuff, especially black stuff, a lot better than black and grey will. You'll always see it through. But yeah, I'm going to be going into mandalas and stuff like that. Sacred geometry is awesome. I love all that stuff, like all this stuff. Geometry is what I've got most on my body. I love a lot of that style. I'd love to get into that as well. I used to do that when I first started. I used to do a lot of geometric stuff, mandala work, mandala kind of like lines and stuff, but it just got super boring. It got super repetitive, super boring, and I didn't like tattooing anymore, which is why I needed to learn a different style, and that's when I got into shading. I didn't know how to shade in the first year, 2 years of my career. I've only been doing black and grey work for like 5 years. That's it. What's my daily rate? My daily rate's 450. Around 400, 450. But it was 800, which is still quite cheap, I think, for the level. But especially in London as well. Like I'm around London. Most very good artists in London are like over £1,000, which is good money. It's good money. Why did you not come to Denmark? I've been to Denmark actually. I used to work at Iron and Ink for a bit. I was in Iron and Ink for a bit. Hopefully there's no dead flies in there. I've just seen a fucking fly kicking around. Bit of protein. Why not? I even charge more than you. Well, there you go, Sean. There you go. The average daily rate in the US is 650 to 700. It's incredible, isn't it? It's mad. The US is it's where it's at, man. It's where it's at for price. There's so many cheap competition out there. It's crazy. I think you should probably up your game rather than lower your price. Find a new. Yeah, I mean, do you know what? I've tried to, but no one wants to book in. I've done. I think it's just a hard time in the UK as well. Like the UK is very hard to. Mortgage prices have doubled. Mortgage prices have doubled. Bills have doubled, have quadrupled. So my electric bill, for instance, for my flat was £30 a month, and now it's 150, I think. So that's skyrocketed. My water bills tripled. It's very hard to live in the UK, man. It's crazy. I need to read some of these. What's a good low budget tattoo machine under $500? I'd say Bishop is probably the best machine you can get for a semi-cheap price. I mean, they're cheaper than FK irons, right? I shop in Copenhagen. I can arrange guests for you, bro. Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. I can definitely come over to Denmark for a week or so. Copenhagen's a cool place as well. You can get them for $470 sometimes. Yeah, I would go with a Bishop shader personally. I think the Bishop shader is perfect. But again, it depends on what you want to use it for, because if you want to use it for lining as well, I'd probably go for a packer, because you can drop the volts and shade with a packer. So it's a more all-round machine to have, the packer. The shader, you literally just have to shade black and grey. I think you should charge £1,000. Mate, I'd love to charge £1,000. I think I'm worth £1,000 as well. I really do. I think I'm worth £1,000, but no one books in for £1,000 and in this country, unless you're a Thomas Carly-Harlier or something like that. I think he's charging 1,500 quid a day, which is still pretty cheap. But for London, it's not bad. Am I still doing the podcast with Don Brown? Yes, eventually. We just keep missing each other. He's had family commitments and stuff, so there you go. But yes, the Don Brown interview will be the next one. I've got Victoria Lee hopefully coming on as well, which would be really good, because she works in a very particular way and it's awesome. We feel it too in Belgium. A lot of people are saving their money because of the fear of an economic crisis. Yep, I think that's what's happening. Road rage, crick, I think that's what's happening. or was it Kick? Road Rage Kick, not Crick. I'm perfect, healthy. People who have problems, they can get perfect health just listening to music and watch tattoos. Well, there you go. Stefan, I'm glad you're healthy, dude. So many cheap competition. I've read that one. What voltage do you line and pack black with the one packer? 4.5 volts. Are there traditional UK tattoos? Yeah, I can do anything. Interview with Vega was incredible and super informative. Thank you, Brian. I'm hungry, sorry. Yeah, I think if you charge more, people think better quality. Yeah, but like I know my work speaks for itself, but getting someone to commit to £1,000 a session is very fucking hard. You just won't do it in this country. They just won't do it. Are your beats on YouTube or Pandora? Pandora, I didn't even know that existed. What's going on, Levi? My beats are probably my beats are probably on YouTube now. Under Vampire. You will attract different customers. Yeah, I know, but it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to. This is why I wanted to meet Eric. He markets himself in a very special way, and he hasn't posted in over 2 years on his Instagram, and he's still flat out. Like that's the difference. Jose Mercado says, I own an Acus M1 and I simply love the machine. Yeah, man. Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to be hitting up Acus, actually. I'm going to be hitting up Acus to do a podcast with them as well, for sure. What app do you use for edit pictures? Like the nun and the skull on the hands? I didn't. I just used Instagram. I don't use any app. I just use Instagram, take the saturation out, maybe put the highlights up a tiny bit, drop the shadows. That's it. That's all I use. What you see on my Instagram is how it looks in real life. There's no lights, there's no polarization filter on it. It's just an iPhone camera. That's literally it. That was from Douglas Villela Tattoo. I'm gonna go because I'm actually getting super hungry now and I need a bar of some sort, something cheap, because I'm feeling a bit sick now. Bar, hello from Italy. What's going on, dude? Have you ever tried stick and poke? Nah, I'm not a fan. They're quite cool though. They are quite cool and they're very cool to see, to do, but because I can use a machine, I may as well just use a machine. I've probably got more, sorry guys, it's been a long day. And the weather is incredibly shit here in the UK as well. It's cold, it's pissing down with rain. It's not great. But anyway, guys, I thought I'd just come on anyway. What's up from Montreal? What's going on, Unique Tattoo? Good night from Bali, Indonesia, dude. Yeah, no worries, man. I appreciate you all jumping on and saying hello. It's been cool. Energy bar and energy drink. Yeah, boy. Exactly. Yeah, do you know what? That's all I need, man. That's all I need. Yeah, it's a hard time, but I thought I'd come in for... Oh, I'm in for Stencil. Let's have a look, Douglas. Let's have a look. Sorry. What app? Ah, okay. So I just use Stencil app. I think it's Pony Lawson's app, actually. I think it's Pony Lawson. Pengers, yeah. Yeah, I've heard of Pengers. He does like mad large scale stuff in like 5 hours. A bit like what they do in Bali and places like that. That's how they did that. But again, it lacks detail for me. It's not like it's cool if that's what you want to do, but it just lacks detail for me. I like to get loads of that's the difference between my work. Like I get so much detail in a piece I do because in such a little time as well, which fascinates me. I don't know how I do it, but it's just all in the stenciling. But yeah, when you do like really large stuff, like a whole back in like a day, it's just not, yeah, it's not, it looks cool when you're fully covered because you like, but like an individual piece, if you use just to get your back done or whatever and not your arms and stuff like that, like it looks better in when it's all done in a bigger tattoo than in a smaller piece, because I don't know, it's like if you look at Ruben Tatua, for instance, he does large scale pieces, but the detail he gets is insane. And I think if you used to put, you know, someone that tattoos a whole back in five hours to a whole back done by Ruben Tatua in 10 sessions, I know what I would rather spend the money on. But there's a section of this tattoo industry that does that, and that is it Lumina Tattoo in Bali. He's started to get more detail in his work now, and it's quite impressive, to be honest. And he's still pretty quick. I'm quick. I'm fast. I can do a whole inside of a forearm and outside in 2 sessions. Dodi Press, yeah, that's him. But yeah, I think people that work super quick and just try and get a lot of space covered just lack detail. And for me, it's not really art. It's not really the art of tattooing. To be quick is not a good thing. I've always been a fast tattooist. I've always been a fast. It's not the same. It's just you're just an average tattooist for me if you're doing work like that in you know 5-6 hours. It's you know, you're never going to be regarded in this industry by people that are important. Yeah, they're just blasters, exactly that. It's like I can do a portrait in like 3-4 hours, but I still get stupid amounts of detail in. Like the weekend one I did on my Instagram, I pretty much did that in 3 hours, and that's a whole of a calf. Yeah, I think that's where I'm different to most people. But yeah, it's just my style. It's just how I've worked. I get in and out quick in 1 pass, maybe 2 passes, and move on to the next part. You know, people that take 7-8 hours, they do a similar thing, but in maybe 4 or 5 passes, and that's why they're 4 or 5 times slower, because it's just the amount of passes I do, and that's just how it is. But I've fine-tuned my setup to be able to do that over the years. To get in and out, and for it to heal nice as well. If I'm only doing 1 or 2 passes, I know it's going to heal good, and my work does heal really good. I pride myself on that, because you pay for what's healed at the end. You don't pay for a tattoo that looks good when it's done. You pay for how it looks when it heals. So yeah. But yeah, people that tattoo whole back sessions and whole legs in like 2 days are ridiculous. They're not tattooists to me. They're just blasters, and it just takes the love out of doing it for me. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't be proud of it by the end. But hey, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do, bro. I'm sure he's earning bare money as well, that Pengas dude. TikTok's made him pretty big as well, isn't it? I'm not on TikTok. I can't stand the app. Maybe I should get on it. I think that's where every eye is now, isn't it? What's your opinion on full blackouts? Do you know what, Joe? I actually quite like it. I quite like full blackouts. I quite like it. I was contemplating doing a full blackout on my arm, to be honest. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go because I'm fucking starving. He charges £1,000 per session in his book 7 months out. That's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, see, this is where I've got a fucking issue with the industry. This is where I've got the issue. It's crazy. Like you have to look at what people put into their work to be able to charge that, and then, like, do you know what I mean? But like, I guess if he's charging £1,000, it swings and roundabouts, because you can look at it this way. I would probably charge probably 1,200 for the space he fills, because he fills so much space. The same amount of space that he's filled, I would probably be 1,200, because it would be 2 sessions for me for what he's filled. So it's like, you have to kind of look at it that way. But it's like, what kind of standard of work do you want to get? You want to get just like basic shading work, or do you want to get like super detailed work? And that's where it is. Unique Tattoos just become a new member. I appreciate you, man. But yeah, like, that's where I've got it's very hard. It's very hard to not get annoyed with the industry as much as I am already, because it's hard to, you know, it's like someone that's worked stupidly hard to get to the level I am, the level of tattooing that I am in 9 years, compared to someone that's I don't know, nowhere near the level technically, and you know, I'm struggling, and they're not. It's just one of them, isn't it? It's just who wants what. It's like, people, you know, his clientele will be his clientele, and you know, he lives in a cheaper area as well. I live in London. There's a lot of swings and roundabouts, man. And it's for a lot of people. Like, I know people that, you know, I know artists that live in Weston-super-Mare and places like that, and they're going through the same shit, man. But you have to gauge what customers want. You have to gauge what route. You have to be quite clever in how you look at where the industry's going. It's hard, man. Cleaner. I think be more successful if charged. Dude, I won't get no bookings. I was charging £800 a day, dude. No one booked in. No one. This is why I'm at the point of now having to get rid of my life. I'm gonna be homeless. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's ridiculous. It's crazy, man. If I charge people 1,200 a day, they won't book in. No one's gonna book in. I'm not even getting emails. That's why I'm thinking, okay, this is getting crazy now. I need that. That's what I came in here for. Work in a shop and do your private work. I mean, I've got a shop. Like, I don't like giving people 50% of what I earn. What's the point? I may as well work for the price I'm at now, because that's what I'm going to be earning. If I worked in a shop, they will take 50%. If I charge £800 a day, they'll take 400 of that. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. I may as well charge 400 myself and just have it. But yeah, yeah, it's mad. It's mad. Anyway, I'm gonna go, guys. Appreciate you. Not cleaner as in drugs, not owner. Cleaner? What are you on about? What's up, dude? I work at a flash shop as part of Famous Family. Just finished my apprenticeship, got an offer on by a nicer, cleaner shop. Should I take it? I'm not too sure. Cleaner? Cleaner as in look. Not cleaner as in drugs and owner, not crazy. I'm not sure. What? So the owner's crazy and he takes drugs? Brandon Davis, I appreciate it, man. For those of us who aren't close enough to get ink from you, what are others? Just I don't know, man. I don't like asking for shit. I've never really been one to ask for shit. I'm gonna be dropping my prices on my courses. Maybe that could be good. I'm gonna drop it so every course is like 200, 250, something like that. I'm gonna be also, Kieran, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, let me know, like, how much would you pay for a course, a full course? How much would you pay for a full tattoo? I don't even know how much tattoo courses are now. They're at 500 at the minute. I've got a full course out. I've got a masterclass out, which I haven't posted anywhere, but I'm going to be putting that on the website as well. I've got a full course on the website. What's doable for you guys? I don't know. I don't know. What's doable for you guys? What's how much would you pay for a course? I don't even know how much. And the thing is, I've looked at a lot of courses as well, and they just sell you time lapses. It's incredible. It's mental. Obviously, that, like, when I started to write mine. So the course for me. So the course. So I've got a full course, which is your website isn't working. Brilliant. If it's not working, then God knows. Can you see oliverair.co.uk? oliverair.co.uk. Please let me know. If it's Biggie Smalls, I will go. London's an expensive place compared to the Midlands, so your price should be higher. Yeah, it should be 100%. It should be 100%, but not many people book in, bro. I'm not even getting emails. So it's one of them. That's why, and a lot of people around this area have said, if you lower your price, I'll book in. And I'm like, sweet, that's the only way I can do it. Unless I go viral. But I'm not, like, well known here in the UK. I'm not that well known here in the UK. I'm more known in the US. That's why it's so hard. It's so hard. Standard price around here is $450. Yeah, I mean, I'm the price you are then. It's working. It is working. Cool. Yeah, I'm going to be dropping my prices on there for my courses to, like, maybe 200 or something, 250. I don't know if that's cheap enough. I'm not sure. But in the course, you've got $450 a session. Yes. Yeah. $450 a session. Your site works in the US. Cool. Awesome. That's good. Yeah, in the full course, I've got Industry Insider module. So there's 4 modules. Industry Insider. So my experience in the industry, what to expect. Girls coming into the industry, I've said about that as well. I've spoken about that as well. What else? Yeah, my experiences, what the industry can do for you, etc. Then the second, I haven't looked at this for a while, but the second module I think is tattoo equipment knowledge. So that's anything from setting up, breaking down properly, needle knowledge. You've got needle knowledge in there. You've got what needles for what technique. You've got volts versus hand speed in there, how to get your volts and your machine to get your machine running right for your hand speed, what to look out for when you're shading as well. Then you've got the whole, like, you've got so much in that technique stuff, and then I've got a technique section, which is tattoo techniques. So I'll go through every technique that I know: stippling, packing black, soft shading, whip shading. I show you on fake skin first, so you can practice on that if you're a beginner. And then I go into a real life situation as well. And then at the end, I've got photography as well. And photography is about how to take pictures on a DSLR camera or your iPhone, lighting, what equipment to use, what else? And then I've got like full tutorials. I've got stencil tutorials, and like on the screen you've got the reference that I'm using, and I'm circling the bit where I'm doing and stuff. Like it's pretty in depth, to be honest. So yeah, if you want to jump on that course, I'm going to bring out the masterclass as well, which is the skull one that I did a couple of months ago. A few people took that as well, which was really cool. That was really cool to see some people's work. Obviously, I have my stencil on there as well, so you can stencil. You can use the stencil that I did, but I recommend doing it yourself, obviously, because you're going to learn that way. But you can follow along. You can follow along what I stencil. And yeah, my daughter's good, man. Thank you for that question. Get other people working in your shop. Yeah, it's not that big, dude. I need to try and figure it out. How do I find your tattoo courses? There's tattoo courses on my website. I've only got one on there at the minute, which is a full course, which is like everything. It's like the industry course, really. It's like everything. You can take it as a beginner. It's aimed at the average tattooist, you know. So, and it's easy to follow as a beginner because I literally tell you everything I know. And then the masterclass is like if you've gained the knowledge from that first course, the full course, then the masterclass you'll be able to know what I'm saying. But yeah, anyway, guys, it's been an hour now, so I'm gonna jump. But thank you for the super chats, guys. Thank you for the new memberships. And when I get a tattoo, I'll be going live. The course says email you first before buying. Really? I'll have to check it out. What, on the website? Is that right? I think you can actually buy it through like Stripe on the website, I think it is, or PayPal Pay. I'm not sure, but yeah, I'll make sure I check that out and get it all up and running. I've got a website lady as well that deals with that. But yeah, I'm gonna go, guys. I need to eat. So yeah, I appreciate you coming on, and yeah, please smash that like button. Please subscribe if you're new. But yeah, when I'm booked in again when I'm booked for a tattoo, I will go live if it's one to go live for. But yeah, what's going on, Glenn? You just missed it. But yeah, big love to every one of you. I will be hopefully live soon.